I'm starting by starting. I honor you, Mother of all that is. I honor you, Mother Nature, in whose womb, in whose abode we reside, and we are cared for and nourished. Thank you, Mother Nature, for all that you mean to me and we. I honor you, Cosmic Mother, Governor of all that is, seen and unseen. Thank you so much for protecting us in your unique way and caring for us, me and we, in your unique means and ways. I honor you. I honor the blessed waters, sacred, the blessed sacred waters, and all waters of life. Thank you for being an integral part of my beingness. Thank you for caring for me and we here on earth and in other spaces, from above and below, from whence you come. I honor you, the blessed waters. I honor you, elemental elder of fire. Thank you for guiding, teaching us in ways to be with you. And thank you also for adjusting your temperament so that we can receive you in many ways. Fire, you're an integral part of me, and I'm grateful. Thank you. I honor air, elemental elder of air, the sacred breath that I breathe, and the breath that is all around me and we, and the breath that is in all things. I honor you, elemental elder of air. And I honor you, spirit, imbued in all things, part of the great mystery of life and more. I honor you, spirit. Oh, intricate times we are in, and I honor the web of life that is part of me and we, around me and we. I honor the web of life. I honor my guards and guardians. It is with your love, your patience, your counsel, your healing, and more that I thrive and forge on. Thank you, each and every one of you, of animate and inanimate life forms. I love you. This testimonial honoring is dedicated to life of plants, life of the trees, and in the many shapes and ways that we receive them. Firstly, I'm grateful to the life of plants, to the life of trees, for schooling me, for schooling me, for schooling me, for schooling me. Many of us make this statement that we want to enter the school of life. Well, fellow humankind, I'm grateful that I got schooled by life of the plants, because by them doing so, I was not only revived, but I was healed in all ways that I wanted to be, and then some. I honor you, the plant life, for the many, many years that I receive you, for the many ways that you care for me through clothing, cotton, cotton, this is straw, and other aspects of life, other matters of life. You clothe me, you feed me, and you provide medicine and so much more. Thank you so much for your patience and your love. You love us. You love me and we. I honor you, life of the plants, for being that, so that when some of us remember our rightful places alongside you, we can just be one. And I'm so sorry that all those years I was blind to the magnanimous, the grandness of you, the infiniteness of you, life of the plants. And I'm grateful you provide me clothes, shelter, food, medicine, and dessert. Even beauty, makeup, life of the plants. You provide makeup, life of the plants. You provide us ways that we can make art. And sitting with you, observing you, life of the plants, life of the trees, you inspire the creativity that is ingrained in us, in me and we. So you're healers, you're teachers, you clothe us, and you teach us how to be merry. So I honor you. I honor you, the plant life. From the depths of the ocean, you travel to teach us. That's just it. The plants that are in the ocean, humankind, we go and we source them, and it's food for us. In some ways, it's medicine and more. From the ocean, from the middle world and other worlds, life of the plants, you remind us, and by doing so in your beautiful, bountiful way. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you. Thank you for everything and more. Thank you for everything and more. Thank you. I am just so very grateful that I hurt no more, because plant life has done that and continues to do that. I'm so grateful that when it's not boast or brag, it's just a fact. When I tell people, oh yeah, I have not been to a doctor in 10 plus years, it is because the healing that you provide and other medicines. And might I say, it also could be your love, that pure source love that we crave and want. It's right in front of us, and you are it. Life of the plants, thank you. Thank you. I honor you, each and every one of you. The ocean plant life, I honor you. Heaven knows. Seaweed is one of my favorite foods. Seaweed is one of my favorite foods there are. Japanese seaweed rice seasonings. It's the seaweed, it's the sesame seeds, and that's just it. From your seeds to your roots to the barks, the saps, everything about you is amazing. Plant life, everything about you, from top, bottom, middle ways, you are amazing. You are amazing. Thank you so much for being amazing. And thank you for sharing your awesomeness, your awesome ways with us. And you teach us actually in doing so. Of course, here comes the testimony. Many, many moons ago, it's been years, it feels like a distant past lifetime, but it is in this lifetime that I experience the wonderfulness that I am honoring, and that is plant life. Many moons ago, I hurt. I hurt. I ate food. Yes, I ate food. It wasn't solely plant based. There was some plant aspects on there, plant matter, and of course, other proteins of animals on there. It wasn't in your quote unquote fast food. No, I am not a fast food person. So it wasn't that. And that was the part that really made me stuck, because they say, oh, don't eat fast food because it's not good for you. And there I was cooking all of my meals at home, and I was hurting. I went to the doctors, uh, and they said, ma'am, we've ran a lot of our tests and we cannot find anything. I was hurting specifically on both sides. My right side, you can, to point in the region, my kidneys region. So my kidney region up to my stomach, that entire part region of my body. Every time I ate, fire. Every time I ate, fire. It hurt. It hurt. It hurt. And I could not understand for the life of me why. And so this went on for months. Now, mind you, the pain started small. The pain started small, and I thought, okay, well, maybe it's something that I did here, and it's something that I could adjust here. And others would say, well, you need to exercise. I did that. The pain started small. It didn't go away. Instead, it just ramped up. It ramped up so much so to the point where I felt that I am not being dramatic. This is the truth of it all. I don't even know where this came from at the time when I felt it. But it was just this feeling of knowing that was resonating in my body as a result of this pain that was just simmering there as a result of me eating. And this resonating knowing that came up was, if I didn't address this, I felt myself dying. As we know, death happens in many different ways. When we change who we are, our old selves tend to transmute. It no longer exists. So perhaps that could be the type of death that I was picking up on as far as insights. I was picking up on, if I did not make a change, I was going to die. And I was frustrated. I was angry because I did not know what to do. And most annoying of all, the doctors could not seem to know what to do either. So the next best thing that was suggested to me by friends and people that know me, they said, okay, well, try pescatarian. I am refraining from putting a lot of highlight on animal protein because animals have not done us any wrong other than just exist here. So that's why I am not making this video and putting any type of blame, putting any type of strain or shame or any of those energies. I'm not putting it on animals. It's not fair to them and it's not their fault. Yeah, so this testimonial honoring is not about going after animals. They're beautiful beings and they love us, and that's that. So the proteins that I was choosing to eat when this hurt that was happening were animal proteins. So once the doctors could not find a solution, and I then, out of desperation, honestly, took the advice of colleagues, friends, or people around me, and then went with it. They suggested try pescatarian. I went with the pescatarian option, and I did that for 365 days. Unfortunately, the pescatarian option did not bring about the type of peace that I needed in my body, the type of rest, ease that I needed to experience physically, happiness. It did not bring so. The pain stayed, but it got dwindled just a little bit. Because the doctors could not find anything, the moment I made that switch to pescatarian, I then realized that, okay, so this is food related. Okay. So I started to pay attention because it was the difference of you flip a switch. When I mentioned that the pain drastically dropped, it didn't go away, it just dropped. So in observing that within my body, I then proceeded to just live my life, eat a pescatarian diet. And I kid you not, we would go out and hang out with friends, I would eat things like vegetarian pizza, and I would just rave about the sauteed mushrooms on there, or rave about how the spinach tasted, and I would just rave about the suppleness of the whole thing because of the tomatoes that was on there. And other places I would dine at, I would rave about the pesto sauce or the saute butter garlic, or I would just rave about the vegetable medley that they brought out. And it can be, I'm not saying corn is simple because corn is everything, corn is life. But back then I just noticed I could not shut up about the corn on the cob that I ate at somewhere. I could not shut up about a whole bunch of things, and it kept pointing to vegetables. It took me a while to pick up these consistencies, and I was slow to pick that up, not because I did not see the consistency, it's because I had a roadblock. And that roadblock was, I'm raised African, and here I was seeing the reality that I like vegetables. And the ways that I was raised, or the ways I'm raised, said that the culture, you only eat meat and there is nothing else. And because, there are a lot of coastal countries on the continent, West Africa specifically, that means fish, seafood is a big part of the diet too. So pescatarianism made sense because I'm like, okay, coastal, I can eat fish and sea and other seafood life. But the more that I noticed that I was taken to those vegetables, like kimchi is one of my favorite. Um, Cabbage, just cabbage in general. The more that I picked up and observed and noticed that I love, and I would devour oftentimes all the vegetables. And then at the restaurant, oftentimes I wouldn't touch a lot of the fish option. Like I would pick at it. And I started to complain that, well, it didn't taste good. They didn't season it well. I would still eat it, but I started to notice that there was a deviation happening in reality. Like the draw to vegetable was just magnetism. That's the word. The word or description that says magnetic. That's it. The draw to vegetable, the draw to plant life was and is magnetic. And I picked up on that, but like I said, the resistance was growing African or being African, and I'm like, I don't know what this means. I just didn't know what it means, because one of the things that I exclaimed when it finally like grabbed me, not it, but many months of doing this, going back and forth and trying to be ignorant of the fact of what is. And I think at one dinner sitting with a friend or something, and a conversation came up because like I said, I could not shut up about vegetables. And then the person was like, well, heck, just be a vegetarian then. And I knew what being a vegetarian meant. And I remember telling them, I can't be a vegetarian. I'm African. That is the heart to it. That was the stubbornness. That was the roadblock. I did not want to let go of what didn't serve me, what wasn't aligning with my being, because I felt that being African, I had to do this. And if I wasn't doing this, then, well, Africans just don't do that. I went on to eat pescatarian. But after this person planted that seed of vegetarianism, it was several maybe weeks ago, and then I was like, okay, let me just see what the heck they're talking about with this thing, because I have no idea how to exist without the flavors that there be. And that's what I mean in this video when I say the plant world schooled me. The plant world is like, child, what do you mean by flavor? Oh, you want flavor? Oh, we got your flavor. And it's a beautiful thing. So I didn't last too long in the sadness of letting go of fish, because my big thing was I didn't know if the foods were going to be flavorful. I eat predominantly native foods. I cook at home often, actually always. I eat predominantly native foods. And how I've always known to flavor them is with either animal life or seafood life. And now I am being directed towards plant life. I didn't know. So thankfully, the rest is her story. A beautiful, successful, her story that thrives with bliss, flavor, glee, rebirth, tears of joy. Okay? Literal tears of joy. And I love that. I love in those moments when I was reborn, when I would just cook the meal, flavor it. Okay, when I say flavor it, not doing anything different, just incorporating plant protein. Could be plant protein of soy or plant protein of wheat. I incorporated those plant proteins, or sometimes I actually, when I first started the journey, I had a huge distrust of tofu and a huge distrust of wheat protein. So it took me maybe 6 months to a year before I incorporated those into the dietary lifestyle. So I solely relied on beans. And as I mentioned, I eat predominantly traditional foods. And I kid you not, when I went to make those foods free of meat, free of animal protein, free of seafood protein, it still tasted good. And it dawned on me that, oh, wait, this still tastes good. Could it be because the palm oil is and will always be the star of the show? Could it be that cassava leaf is and will always be the star of the show, being the main ingredient in that particular dish? Could it be that if you choose to cook jute leaves is the star of the show? So that flavor aspect, once I once I overcame that sadness and I had to go through some behavioral counseling that I did to myself because I couldn't be screw face about it. So like I said, I made my cassava leaf stews with beans in it, and I was like, it tastes good. I was so happy. I was so happy because then I realized that, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. The flavor, the smell, and taste of cassava leaf remained the same. Remained the same. And when I incorporated palm oil in meals that had palm oil, it still tasted juicy. My whole attitude changed. I stopped being sad. I stopped feeling this loss, and I started to celebrate. Like when I had meat, animal proteins in my food, I didn't dance in the kitchen. I dance now because, like I said, it's rebirth. I'm like, oh my God, this is just as delicious as I remember it to be. It is not less. It didn't taste less. It does not taste less because it doesn't have seafood life in it or animal protein life in it. It does not taste less. It actually still tastes hyped because the plant life is the vital aspect of it. If I did not eat goat meat, but if goat meat was put in something, crayfish was put in something, removing those things from there, the food still had the oh my God aspect for me. And that's what I'm so grateful for. The journey went on where I celebrated and I danced. And when moments that came through, when the tears were started to come, I would just let it come because I'm just like, oh my God, I was so ignorant. I was so ignorant. And I think that's okay because the plant life loved me and they held me in their abode. They continue to hold me in their domain and nurture and love me and heal me in all ways that I want and need till this day. And I'm so in love with that. I just love that. So Thank you. Thank you, all of you, each and every one of you of plant life. And thank you too to the life forms that nurture them and support them and protect them so that they can grow bright, strong, beautiful, so that I can consume it, receive it, and be, and just be. So that is my, this concludes the testimony ceremony of the plant life. This testimony is just that, my testimony. There is no political agenda here or of any of such. We all are on our unique journey. Mine was very intimate in the ways that it was. When I had my vex moment, when I had my aha moments, when I had moments where I literally observed the facts, but then chose to ignore it, and then only, coming back to receive it. And that is the beauty of this journey. No one strong armed me into anything. No one did. And the intention of this revelation is not to strong arm anyone. Absolutely not. I am just enjoying witnessing the beauty, the peace of the plant world, and how they're loving me, loving up on me as I am loving up on them. And if it sparks inspiration, so shall it be. If it sparks receiving a good story, so shall it be. On this platform of healthy accord, my intent is to share ways that the natural world, nature, her world, has and continue to perform wonders in my life. You, humankind, mankind, my brethren, you are part of nature world, thus the videos that I've shared, and that's that. I don't know all of her principles and laws, but I'm hoping to observe them and implement them in the helpful ways. And in ways that I have done so via food, I feel healed from the pain that once was. I felt that I healed myself. Well, I did heal myself actually, because doctors did not do that. Medicine did not do that. Actually, well, technically, food is medicine. And the food did that. The food that is medicine did that for me. And that is just that, my testimony. You can chalk this up to a 5-star review of the plant life. Just ding, 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 5-star review. And a video review to accompany that. So that's my story. And may you find peace where you shall, and may you be well. Thank you for taking a moment out of your day to view this. Bye for now.